problem and presents to the seeker. And then the seeker gradually realizes that, oh, you did not create the problem. I was ignorant. That is why I could not see this problem. And then from there, oh, once the seeker says, oh, it's not a problem you created, it is hidden behind my ignorance. I was ignorant about this. I love you, my son, so much. Then the master creates a problem. How? You are attached to your son. And then it shows, the master shows that this attachment, you did not have a knowledge of this attachment, hence you should know this, what is this attachment and how this attachment results into a delusion and you suffer. So better not to remain attached so that you don't suffer. But I did not get the essence of it. Where is the essence of the real self? That is why the seventh chapter is.
I think I've realized, I was telling Carlene, two things. One, I realized kind of, and I was just sort of talking loosely, but I was like, being a seeker is almost like it's like an illness that you want to cure so badly. It's people see a seeker and they think like, oh, he's like lucky or something. But I think first we have no control that we become a seeker, nor our progress is neither, and also not in our control, which I thought was interesting. But I realized no, suffering has been the most instrumental piece of my growth.
Yes.
And if I find myself suffering or experiencing a hard moment, I think this is like, this is God's magic recipe to potentially, using words that are tough to display. But I realized like, oh, the suffering is so essential, at least for my seeking. I realized that without it, I would be, if things were going well, I would have never dug so deep into myself. But I just thought of that because we thought alleviating suffering. I thought, yes, we all want to do that, but I've begun to realize that I don't know that it'll alleviate when it's time, when I've evolved to a certain stage, right? And then it won't be there. But until then, I probably need it.
Yes, yes. I don't want to deviate from this topic. There are 5, 6, or 7 factors how the awakening takes place, and most important factor definitely is suffering. Now see the simple example of the suffering. I am angry because of you. I am suffering because anger is there. So first I experience that I am suffering. Now I start with the mind's blames external people for my emotions in the mind. Did you understand? The mind blames external person for my suffering, for my anger. But the anger rises from within, not from others. So I am angry when I say I am suffering is the creation, is an experience of the suffering in the beginning. Buddha says the entire world is suffering, warns us, and then he explains why it is suffering. And ultimately they say transcend the world. So now when you reflect, I'm angry, what happens? If others control my emotion, where is my freedom? And then I raise my awareness and experience of the suffering. Come on, if other controls my emotion and I become angry, where is my freedom? Can I choose not to react? Yeah, there is a rise in awareness. No matter what others do, yes, it is possible. Let me try. So I am not successful in first attempt, second, but gradually, if I'm continuing as a seeker, there is no suffering at all. And that suffering is caused by the RSM syndrome. So I have to understand the two part. One part is the knowledge, the intellectual understanding. And the second part is that in any situation, in any location, in any relationship, I learned not to be angry. But the moment I learned not to be angry, that anger belongs to the false eye, and the real eye shines behind it. So that is the specialized knowledge. That is what our master Krishna, Arjuna says nothing about after the meditation. Arjuna might have realized that that is, and I am absorbed into meditation. Krishna says no, after you have to learn. So without asking a question, he starts. He says there are two types of knowledge. One knowledge, knowing that sugar is sweet, like is like understanding the fundamental principle, the underlying truth. It's basic knowledge that sweetness exists. It's knowing the core principle. Then what is the second part of the knowledge? Experiencing the sweetness of a sugar in different forms. It may be candy, sugar crystal, dessert, ice cream is like experiencing the diverse manifestation of the same reality. So the same reality appears many, but the sweetness is one, hence there is only one reality. Whether you say that I hate my mom, I like my honey, or I like this son, I hate this son. No, you are wrong. You have to recognize one is the essential knowledge that is always there, knowledge of the real self, and other is variety. So, Jnana, Master says, then he takes a turn which is so interesting, which is so transforming the mind. That is, we are coming to that. So, knowledge is understanding the fundamental nature of the self, and we can say the specialized knowledge that we understand the same essence in almost everything in the world. So, it means that consciousness, that real self is present in essence in everything at all the time in all the location is the self-absorption in the chapter 6 of meditation. Self-absorption means that I'm absorbed in the real self, by which I'm aware that you look different from outside, but in essence you are the same as me. Honey, you look different from outside, but in essence you are the same as me. I am the real self, and so the same real self is one. So that is what we have covered a couple of times, but here the master takes a totally a different about turn, which looks so promising and understanding clearly. Same thing applies to the concept of love. I gave an example of a sweetness of a sugar. That love, that pure emotion is present everywhere. Present everywhere.
I had a question for you, and it's probably totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
But I have this. I've been having this experience that. So if I'm looking at a chair and I can kind of not come from a core, like behind my eyes, so to speak, I almost sense that the space between, well, the object, the space between, and the space behind me is almost like connected. And so does space, which is essentially consciousness permeating all, I almost feel like the space is holding that it's not empty, that it's very full. And I don't know if that's an illusion in my mind, but I almost felt that there's an awareness looking back at me from, the experience of coming. It's like a two-way. It's a two-way situation, and and I can just find myself sitting with my eyes open and sort of meditating on that. But I was like, man, I think I've been obsessed with space and getting in the large open areas. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That the distance, the space is all kind of old. Uh, and yeah, I
Yes.
thought I'd bring that up because I think maybe if consciousness truly does permeate and man,
Re-
it's everywhere.
Remain obsessed with the space, but with a clear understanding. What is that clear understanding? There is a material space, then there is a space of the mind and the intellect, and then there is a space of the consciousness. Now it comes from the teachings of the Upanishad that we will take up later after we complete the Gita. Uh, so, what is the physical space? Mind perceives this physical space or feels or senses, and we see that there is an infinite space. But this space is constantly expanding, my friend. Expanding means it is changing. Changing means what is changing is not real. Finished. We are 100% clear now. But we are still looking into the physical space to be aware of that higher space. Now go to the second level, the space of the mind. So now when you say that I saw the chair and the space all around the chair, that is what the mental space is. You recognize some object. Forget about the chair. You recognize honey. You recognize your kids. You recognize the money. Oh, that is the chitta space, because chitta is the mental space. It is the mind divided itself into objective part, that is the chair, subjective part, I am, that is the false I. So, in that space of the mind, the false I lives. It nurtures itself. But without the real self or the pure consciousness, the space of the consciousness, it cannot work. That remains constant. That is not changing. So these two spaces are constantly changing. So when you get obsessed with the space, yes, good to be obsessed with the space, but pick up that space of the consciousness. How do you say that? I see the chair. Without consciousness, you cannot see the chair. It is filtered by the mind. That is why you say that the chair is different and separate from me. Come on. There is no possibility. You can recognize only an object when the consciousness pervades all around it borders. Here is a remote. I only recognize this is a remote when the highest space of the consciousness is pervading all around its corners. So then I can separate this remote from other objects. That is done by the consciousness. That is the infinite space of the consciousness. It is different from the space of the mind, which recognizes it as a remote and which is different from the material space where this remote is located. Did you get it? Huh?
Yeah.
So there are three spaces. Coming from that, we will talk. That's a beautiful principle underlying, explained in the Upanishad. So now coming to the importance of the knowledge and the specialized knowledge. So here, Krishna throws, I would say, such a beautiful way. He says, what he says, there are two parts. You should know two things. One is the field, and other is the knower of the field. The space, material space, and the mental space is the field. like a agricultural field, and the farmer knows the field in which the seed is, in which the field is plowed, then the seed is sown, then he sees the sapling, sapling becomes the tree becomes the seed. What do you want to say? I want to say there are two aspects. One is the knower of the field, and other is the field. They are separate. When they got mixture, when they mixed up due to the ignorance, due to the false identification, we suffer. Let us expand that. That is one of the most important principle. So what he says, the knowledge of the knower is a direct experience. Knowledge of the objective reality is the indirect experience. I experience the remote, I experience the chair, I experience the honey. Whether I say I experience, whether I say I know it, whether I say I relate it to it, it is the same thing. What is field? Field of objective reality, field of material space, field of the mental space. It is different from the third space, which is a knower, the real knower, the real I. And the other two belongs to the field. Are you getting it? Not very difficult to understand the field. I talk to you, you are the field, but deeper inside there is a knower of the field. What the knower does? Knower knows I am speaking. When I say I am speaking, this is the false I. I am speaking to you. You also belongs to the field. That I who is a speaker, including the body, mind, intellect, and ego, plus the past memory, is also the field. There is only one knower of that field, and that knower is the real self. That knower. Are you getting it?
I get hung up. We're not so much, are we the knower or are we the field itself?
Ah, that's quite interesting. So, who knows is the knower, and knower is I am.
The knower is
If you say that are we the field or the knower, so in the field here is the remote. Are you the remote? The quick answer comes. Are you your honey?
Are we the knowing, not the knower? I don't think there is a knower.
So this remote is not the knower. Obviously, I am the knower of the remote. It means I am the knower.
The mind. Or you're saying it's
Yes. I am the knower through the mind, and I am the knower behind the mind. There are three knowers. I picked up that discussion in a very early of starting the Gita. And that is why I'm returning again. My sense organ perceives this remote. So the first level of the knower is my eyes. Clear? Because it is not a real knower, because eyes are constantly changing. So
and
now
it's an
we
instrument, right? It's
so
an instrument. An instrument can't know it.
Instrument cannot be the real knower, even though it is a knower at the first instant. But then the mind behind the eyes knows my eyes. So it means. So do you want to say the mind is the knower? No, mind is also changing. So then, what is behind the mind is the consciousness, the real self. That is the real knower. So it means, with reference to the real I, the mind is the field. With reference to the mind, the sense organ is the field. With reference to the remote, the eyes are the knower. With reference to any object, The sense organs are the knower with reference to the processing that information by the mind. So with reference to the mind, the sense organs is the field. With reference to the consciousness or the real I, the mind, intellect, body, breath, and all the objects of the field is the field. There is only one knower. So there are only two things, knower and the field. The real knower and the field. But I mistake, I create a knower in the mind, that is the false I. I create a knower in the sense organ, and I feel it. So you feel it through the skin. So the skin, the touch, becomes the knower. Are you getting it? So Master uses the two words, kshetra. Kshetra means the field. Kshetrajna means the knower of the field. So simple. I hold the remote. I. Where is the I? I is inside. That is the knower. So this is the field. What it knows is the field. Not very difficult, but we have to consistently reflect on whatever I know, it comes from the mind. And it is a field. Do I know my ego? Yes. Do I know my stress? Yes. Do I know my pain? Yes. Do I know all my pleasures? Yes. So whatever is in the field of known, it comes from the mind. And behind the mind there is a real knower. I want to buy a car, I like it. I cherish, I dreamed. I got the car. I liked it at the moment, I liked it for a few days. After that, the mind says, I like something else. Mind says, I like something else. I got it. Or I do not get it. Pay attention. In both the cases, the life remains the same, except some sense of failure or success. They both belong to the mind. Not to me. I'm still unaffected. That I is the real knower. How many failures and how many successes we have in our life? Do I still continue to exist? Yes, I continue to exist. Does that I is affected or impacted? Answer is no. I can count 1 million successes and 1 million failures. It is a perception by the mind. But why this is so? If we do not think or become aware, what happens, what we are looking, we are moving from one success to another failure, then success, then failure. They all belong to the mind. They belong to the field of the known. Behind that, there is a field of the knower. That knower never changes. That is what Master is saying. Farmer, I told you, take a simple example, farmer or cow, farmer and its field. So the farmer, that is from where this word has been taken by the Krishna in Sanskrit. The farmer plows the field. Farmer sows the seed. Farmer put the fertilizer. You see that whatever he knows through the mind, he does it. Then the seed sapling, then it becomes the tree, then it bears the flower, fruits. Fruit becomes the seed. That is what we are doing all the day, every day. I have a planning. This is the project. This is the business. I like to do this. I do this. I have two options, success and the failure. They are in the field of the known, and I do not belong to the field of the known. I remain impartial. I remain a witness. That is means that knower is the subjective reality. So there are only two things in the entire universe. Master says the field and the knower of the field. Are you getting it? Farm and the farmland. Everything, I like car, I don't like car, I possess it, I enjoy it, I get frustrated, all belongs to the field, the farmland. So here the master is saying that don't say it is false I. We have already crossed that. You say it is the field for the knower to manifest itself. If you manifest through the deluded mind, you will suffer. If you manifest through the pure mind, you are evolving. You are recognizing. You are understanding what is real self and what is not real self. The master goes to the next step of understanding so that we continue to have a direct experience of the real self. Did you understand that?
I'm a little confused only in the sense that
Where is the confusion?
are we creating another kind of division?
So, okay, hold on.
Object
Who, yeah, it is the same subject. But how you are saying that are we creating? Who is creating? And what it is creating?
Well, I get the intuitive sense that everything is just one, even the knower and the known.
Yes, play with it.
So if we say there's a field to be known, and there's a knower of the field, you've created a division, right?
No. At the level of my evolution, I see the donkey. Okay? I see the donkey, I know the donkey. I'm using the same metaphor which my master used to use. What is this? I see the donkey. Do you see it? Yes. Okay. I see the donkey. Am I the donkey? Whatever I see, whatever I know, can I be? I see you. Am I Derek? No. So Master says, raise your awareness. So when the moment you say no, it means there is two. So whatever you know is the field, and who is the knower?
And is the field that I've heard the term Leela a few times? Is that like the play of the field?
Yes.
Or is that more? Well, yeah. Is that what that is? Or is that a term for a similar thing?
Yeah. You recognize anything in your mind. You make a statement. You make any statement. And recognize where is the knower and where is the known. Where is the field and where is the knower of the field. And we miss that point. Why we miss that point? Because of ignorance. What is that ignorance? That ignorance is a mixture of the knower, the field, and the knower of the field. So if we don't separate the two, we cannot reach to a higher state. This is what the master likes to point out in the very beginning.
That makes sense.
Are you clear?
Yeah. The delusion, we get mixed up thinking we are the field in some
Yeah,
sense, right? Yeah.
There's the greatest delusion that we are the field. Why we are the field? Because I have a pain in the body, but that is the field. You are not the body. So do you see the subtle understanding? Now we are not saying you are not the body. We are saying the experiences of the body, all the experiences comes under the group of field. Because I know I experience the pain. I experience the pain, it doesn't mean that I'm the pain. Am I the pain? No. Whatever I experience, whatever I know, is not me. Simple. In a simple way. Why we are separating, why we are understanding, why we are revealing that there is a separation. so that we can understand that real self is of the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. That is why we are doing it. That is why we are doing this. To understand clearly, I should have a direct experience of the knower. And that knower is the real self. I don't want to go into the field. What is the field is the known. Whatever I know is not me. I know do I see my house? Yes, I see my house. Yes. So I know my house? Yes. Is the house me? No. I know my body. Yes, I know my body. Oh, it means I'm not the body. Yes, because you know you see and you know the body. Are you your mind? I know the mind. Mind gets upset. Mind is happy. Mind is unhappy. Oh, I know everything about the mind. I'm not the mind. So starting from outside, the physical space. I know the physical space. I know the objects. I know the object, yes. My honey is also an object in that space. It means I'm not my honey. That is why we have a problem of soulmate. First thing is that, I should be very clear. Whatever I know, or here, I is the mind. Whatever this mind knows, thinks, accepts, is not me. Then what it is? It is the field. So Master gives another word, it is a field.
That makes sense. And if we can't separate the two, we're probably in delusion.
So because I have to recognize, I should have a direct experience of the real self. That is why we are separating. It will help once 100% I'm sure whatever I know is not me. I close my eyes and I am sitting in meditation, the thought comes, I'm none of these thoughts, finished. So then I will not complain that my mind is distracted. I did not succeed in meditation. I will continue to stay in that state of meditation. But it's a very subtle, it's very deep, and that is what is the beginning of you need. So the Master says, you see the map, globe, here is United States. But that is not United States, it is the field only. It is the field only. So that is what the Master wants to guide us. Eastern wisdom is path to self-realization, is to know clearly what to know, the field and the knower of the field. So when I'm using the mind. When you know the knower of the field without the help of the mind, it is specialized knowledge. That knowledge is the real self. That experience is the real self. That direct realization is there. So I started with what? Knowledge and specialized knowledge. I started with what? I started with the sugar and the sweetness of a sugar. So when I recognize that sweetness is present in variety of forms, is same, one. So there are two types of knowledge, specialized knowledge. One, normal knowledge is all about the knower, known, the objective word, field. And specialized knowledge is what? Only the knower is there. Sweetness is present in everything. So it is not this physical space, it is not the mental space, it is that space which, in that space of the consciousness, the mental space is present and the physical space is present. How can you say that? Do you recognize the physical space? Yes, I recognize. How do you recognize? If you are not conscious, how can you recognize? Or does the physical space recognizes that you are present? No, it cannot. Little subtle but not very difficult to understand. So first knowledge and specialized knowledge, then he goes down. He says there is a field and the knower of the field. Simple, whatever I know, I claim I know, I feel, belongs to the field. Knower is one, the sweetness is the same everywhere. Are you not?
Is the field? Could you call it Ishvara as well?
Not now. We have to understand, we have to redefine that Ishvara. We just recognize in yoga, which starts with the concept of prakriti, matter, and consciousness. So it says it is just a matter. It is automatic mechanism of the matter. That matter consists into five elements, then the five elements consist into, now I'm mixing the science. It consists of 108 elements, and those 108 elements consist of carbohydrate, protein, fat, and the energy. And those fat, carbohydrate, and essential compound consist of my body. You see, go ahead. And then the complex mechanism creates this one cell, then the cell multiplies, and the cell becomes the tissues become the organs, and organs become the system, and that is what the body is. But the fact is, this body is a matter. But body is working, yes, it has its automation working. Even if so called the body is dead, still it is working. Body again converts into the same five elements. So it means that prakriti is working impulsively, automatically, naturally. Okay, so it means that is why this machine becomes old. Now it is 66 years old. Another 20 years, 15 years, this machine has to fall down. But it does not mean the consciousness has fallen down. The knower is still there. That is why we say that we don't die. So that is what Master Krishna is bringing about slowly, step by step. That knower never takes birth and knower never dies. It is this prakriti, the matter, because of its automatic survival mechanism, it takes birth, it grows, it reaches to its peak point. How? By satoguna, rajoguna, tamoguna. That is the nature of the prakriti. It does not belong to me. Why it moves? Because of rajoguna. Why it goes into the knowledge? Because of satoguna. Why it becomes lazy and the sleep state comes? Because of tamoguna. You don't sleep. You don't wake up. You don't dream. It is happening. It is independent. So what is left? Only I am, the real I am. That is what the master wants to point out. In another way, based on the teachings of the Yoga Sutra by Patanjali.
I like the Yoga Sutra. I think in the beginning it basically saying, you're ready. So now yoga, and I realized that.
Are you getting it? What I wanted to convey.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that is what is, yeah, we will get it. We will get it once I link it with the last two verses of the chapter 6, and then I will restart. So the master says what is very important is the journey of the self inquiry, where you point out the field and the knower of the field. in that field we work. I got something more to tell you that will make the clear. So we are always a seeker, and or even an ignorant works always in the field. The seeker wants to reach to a point of 99.999% of sato guna. You are into the highest state of meditation. I'm trying to do it mathematically. So whether you are doing any practice of pranayama, mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, any practice, you are asking the mind to reach to the 99.99999% of the sato guna. Why? Because the real self is directly reflected there, and you know that you are only the knower, you are not the knower, you are not the field at all. You are not the body, mind, intellect, and ego, you are not the false I, you continuously know it. Did you get it? That is another way to explain it. So it means what? I am none of my desires, I have none of my achievement, nothing belongs to me because I am the knower. So Master is saying you can recognize it, realize it by specialized knowledge. What is that specialized knowledge? That is what is discussed in the chapter 7 of this. So you see 99.999% I told you are into the highest state of meditation. You don't want to come out. So there are many masters living in the Himalayan caves. They don't want to come out. They say, no, we are done with it. Why should we go outside? But then there are masters. Take an example like Swami Chinmayanand. So now there is only a fraction. You can say that if I use the word, it is 99.1. So we see the Chinmayanand. 99.2, I see my master. Because it has a little mixture of Rajoguna. Without activity, without Rajoguna, I cannot perform any activity. So that very 0.1% has created so much of literature by the Chinmayanand, so much of speeches by my master and other liberated masters. They have come down like Buddha, who taught for more than 45 years. Why I said so? Still, that is a part of the field. That we have to recognize. I'm doing a good work or a bad work, likes or dislikes, hatred or jealousy. I'm present, I'm speaking to you. It has to be done by the Rajoguna. Without Rajoguna, there is no activity. Rajoguna is a part of the field.
Seeking can only happen in the field, right? I mean...
Are you getting it? No worries, even if you don't get it. Once we...
Can you not hear me?
Huh?
Can you hear me? Can you not hear me?
No, I hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So seeking can only happen in the field, right?
You're approaching it. Yes, you're coming near to it. The seeker, you are a seeker only in the field. Because the real self has no seeking at all. It is already in the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. The sweetness of the sugar is not seeking sweetness from any source. It is already sweet. In a sense, it is sweetness. Why it should seek? But how you become a seeker? 80% satoguna. But if you are living in 80% of tamoguna, then you are already suffering from ignorance and delusion and RSM syndrome, and you are suffering, you are blaming others. So I have to filter out. So that is why we have so many practices. Oh, asana practice, pranayama, mantra, and long list of practices. Yes, yes, yeah, that is another point of approaching. Yes, you are only a seeker in the field. You cannot. The real self has nothing to know, nothing to know, nothing to act. Why? The moment the real self act, it will be subjected to change. The real self is unchanging. Real self is unchanging. That is the knower. Now you're putting me into confusion. No, no, I'm not putting into confusion. I'm putting into clarity. Clarity. So that is the reason Master says when you are chasing any external object for pleasure, fact is the field is chasing the field, and that is why you are deluded. It's not the real knower. Real knower has to do nothing. It's such a delusion. So we are caught in that illusion and delusion. We are caught in superimpositions. Then we are caught in RSM syndrome. And then we continue to, then what happens? We are seeking pleasure, we are avoiding pain, we are creating more and more impressions, and it multiplies again and again. It creates, one seed creates the entire tree and the millions of the seeds. Millions of the seed are again you are sowing it into the field, and then you are caught into the ignorance and you are suffering all the day.
A field is a good analogy. Now that I understand where it comes from.
Did you understand now? Yeah, yeah, we will. So no worries. No worries. Self inquiry is important to separate what I am from what I am not. I have spoken to this many a times. What I am and what I am not. So, under the category of what I am not is the field. But why the Master says? So, how to know what I am not? Master says that is the field. You should know what I am not. If you don't know what I am not, who knows the next day you will identify with it. You will say, this is me. And then that will continue to cause you delusion. So that is another reason he gave a different word. Field, knower of the field. He wants to be clear. He says, no, don't get misled by your own mind.
Makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, seventh. Once you understand clearly the seventh chapter, the next five chapters are based on this seventh chapter. Yes. So now we can raise another question. Why we are dividing into intellectual and the real understanding? The specialized knowledge, the real understanding. Intellectual understanding is field and the knower of the field. Oh, this is what another confusion you are confusing me? No. Intellectual understanding, now I am very clear. I see you. Yes, I see you. So you are different and separate from me. You are Eric, I know you. Then Master says, be very clear. I know you does not mean that I am you. I am separate from you. So what I am not? You. What I am not is you. So what is this you? You is the field. You are the field for me. I am the field for you. We get identified with it, and then we have a problem. Then the false I takes hold of me, and then there is a big issue. We go back to the same thing, same way. So the master says you have to keep your intellect clear, self inquiry, for the process of self inquiry. You understand, you play with it. I am and I am not. What I know, I am not. I know my pain, I am not. I know my body, I am not the body. I know my honey, I am not the honey. So, because I am not the honey, that is why my mind is deluded and seeking love from the honey where it is not. So, I fall into RSM syndrome, and that is the field. So, the field is playing such a role daily in my life. I create only 1 trillion impressions every day belonging to the field, and then I get lost into the field which I claim I am, and that is the problem. Again, I'm explaining in a different way. One more thing, so that you can contemplate and reflect before we meet next week. A very famous proverb. What is that proverb? In US, I think it has been created by Americans. Seeing is believing. Let us examine that. I see you and you see me. Then I claim I'm using I see you and I know. What I know is very small. What I don't know is so huge. Now, first take up one example. I see the skyness or the blueness of the sky. So should I believe the sky is blue? I see the mirage water. Should I believe there is a water in the mirage? No, it is false. Seeing is not believing. You are wrong. So how to know that? By the field and the knower of the field. Did you get it? Seeing is believing. Not true. Not true. Seeing means perception. Perception by the sense organ, perception by the perception of the sound or the sight. All we say that the seeing is believing. Answer is wrong. I say you are my honey, but the honey has another honey outside. At the individual level, who knows? And I'm just kidding. So, do you see that? Okay, you say my honey, and I'm tolerating you, but I have already have another honey. I'm just, I'm making. You see, so it all belongs to the field. It belongs to the field.
All concepts are part of the field.
So that is why we have to separate it completely, and so seeing is believing is not always accurate. Then what the master says, believe first, pending inquiry, then do the self-inquiry, and then you recognize this is the field, I am the knower of the field. So master does not say stop there, seeing is believing, go further. Now I see the water in the mirage. No, inquire. Inquire. Do the inquiry by listening, learning these, applying these principles, contemplation and reflection. And then that is the process of next time I'll bring these 2 verses before we I'll also give another way of introduction that will make you clear. So, no worries.